As I roved out the other day when I had nothing else to do.
So my name is Emer McGee. I live in Marebridge, County Down, and I'm studying in my final year doing textiles, art and design in Ulster University.
But there's no smoke at all coming out of the stack, for the mill has shut down and it's never coming back. And the only tune I hear is the sound of the wind as she blows through the town. Weave and spin, weave and spin. There's no children playing in the dark narrow streets, and the loom has shut down. It's so quiet I can't sleep. The mill has shut down, 'twas the only life I know. Tell me, where will I go? Tell me, where will I go? And the only tune I hear is the sound of the wind as she blows through the town. Weave and spin, weave and spin. At the east end of town, at the foot of the hill, there's a chimney so tall, it says Belfast Mill.
I really wanted to learn more songs about home, and especially being in like the flat and things like that in competitions and score. I wanted to learn more traditional songs from home. So I met up with Roisin White again, gave me a few songs, asked me what I was doing, and I told her I had my dissertation and major project to do. I said I wanted to connect music and song because that's all my art is about really anyways. She says, did I ever look into the Linen Mills songs, because there was such a massive range of songs in that sector, and I never thought about it before, and I looked into it and I looked up Morris Linen and seen a massive chunk of songs and stories about that, and that's kind of where it started from there, and realised that a lot of the songs that I sang when I was wee and now actually had a lot of the Ulster linen industry and the weaving actually featured through the songs, so that's kind of where it all started off.
It's like 1,000 years ago I first left down me pen. With broken boots and wrinkled coats I went to join the men. For 1 and 6 a day we slaved and nearly broke our backs, pulling fields of lint to make the fin kern flax. We washed our hands and faces and we disinfect our clothes. We'd scrub behind our kneecaps and we clean between our toes. We dose our hair with hair oil and we run it down our backs, but sure as hell you still can smell the fin kern flax. We retted it and spread it and we dried it in the sun. We lifted it and tied it and the work was never done. We only wanted rest, for we're dropping in our tracks, but the ladies wanted hankies made of fin kern flax. We washed our hands and faces and we disinfect our clothes. We'd scrub behind our kneecaps and we clean between our toes. We dose our hair with hair oil and we run it down our backs, but sure as hell you still can smell the fin kern flax. Our hands were cut and blistered and our knees were all in red. The aching in our muscles, you might as well be dead. But the farmer stood and glowered as we built the linen stacks, and he thought about their money from the fin kern flax. We washed our hands and faces and we disinfect our clothes. We scrub behind our kneecaps and we clean between our toes. We dose our hair with hair oil and we run it down our backs, but sure as hell you still can smell the fin kern flax. And when we meet St. Peter he will say, come right through, for it's pointless giving penance to a man who worked like you. To ask you to do penance is to ask you to relax, for hell is fun compared to working with fin kern flax.
Started off with life-size aprons, and then I came up to Upper Lands to get a bit more inspiration of colour and texture, and had seen, you know, how the buildings was falling apart and the rustiness of it. And then I decided that to look into the Upper Lands a bit more. I basically dyed a load of material, and it's all scrap materials. There's no real reason for the materials behind it, because back then they used meal bags and any material that they could find to make the aprons out of. So that's kind of where it came from. And then I cut up little tiny aprons to kind of get a visual of what my real life aprons would look like. And then it kind of stemmed from there that I would cut out 1736 aprons, which was the year that the mill of Upper Lands was established, and that's kind of where it came from there. And they all have a different embroidery on it. It has some photographs of mill workers, and it also has printed text on it, which is of songs that are related to the mill.
You might easily know a duffer when she comes into town, with her long yellow hair and her pickers hanging down, with her rubber tie before her and her scraper in her hand. You might easily know a duffer, for she'll always get a man. Oh, she'll always get a man. Oh, she'll always get a man. You might easily know a duffer, for she'll always get a man. You might easily know a weaver when she comes into town, with her old greasy hair and her scissors hanging down, with a shawl around her shoulders and a shuttle in her hand. You will easily know a weaver, for she'll never get a man. No, she'll never get a man. No, she'll never.
It's really to represent like all them workers that worked in the mill, and it's to kind of commemorate on them. And it's a roughness, and the aprons are cut in two, and they're brought back and taken away, and they're kind of trailed along the floor and things like that. And the whole idea is that, you know, the mill workers had such bad conditions. I never knew the massive history of the Ulster Linen Mills. I lived in Belfast for 3 years, and I walked past the Linen Hall and the City Hall for so many years and didn't actually realise what that actually meant. And like, the City Hall used to be an old mill, and where Marks and Spencer is literally where a mill, that whole building was a mill as well. And to think that I walked past them streets like nearly every single day to go to uni and didn't know the history behind it, it's just like, I suppose it's just trying to get that bit of history through art and get it into more like homes and more people to like remember and realise, like, you know, how far we actually have come from then. It's been really, really intense, but also very fun, because this is what I love to do, and it's actually really great to be back in a workshop environment like that again, compared to COVID, because it's been a long time since there's been pressure and creativeness to come along with that since then. And my plans for the future, I would absolutely love to have these wall hangings in art centres and heritage centres, and like, even if there was an outdoor concert here, like, it's to sing them songs and get them songs into homes, like children's nursery rhymes. They'd be taught all the time, Belfast Street songs. I teach them in score, in fla and things like that, and it's just to be able to tour around and sing them songs and have that piece of artwork together, I think would be the main goal. It's really to combine the art and the music together. We washed our hands and faces and we disinfect our clothes. We scrub behind our kneecaps and we clean between our toes. We dose our hair with hair oil and we run it down our backs. But sure as hell you still can smell the fin currant flax.
As I roved out the other day when I had nothing else to do, While walking down through Castle Street, a lovely maid came in my view. She had a nice pink cotton gown, bound with a light blue frill. That moment Cupid strung my heart for the maid who worked in Campbell's mill.